I used to believe that walking 10,000 steps a day was either a marketing gimmick or just another health trend without much substance behind it. Some folks insisted it was the ultimate solution to staying fit, while others argued there's nothing magical about that specific number. You've probably heard the same chatter, right? There's a rumor that the whole 10,000 step idea actually started in Japan as a catchy slogan for a pedometer company, and not because of hard scientific evidence. But here's the crazy part. I decided to test it out for myself, and something unexpected happened. My mind, my actual day-to-day brain functioning, felt like it got a serious upgrade. I'm talking about better focus, more creativity, and a happier outlook on life. It was so noticeable I had to wonder if it was all in my head or if there was real science behind it. And let me tell you, the results were too fascinating to ignore. Before you shrug and think, maybe it's just the placebo effect, I want you to hear the whole story. Trust me, you'll be surprised at how simple daily activities, especially something as basic as walking, can do wonders for your brain. By the way, there's also a juicy bit about garlic coming up, which you definitely want to catch because it ties in more than you'd expect. So, let's uncover what really happens up there in our noggin when we commit to 10,000 steps. Stick around, guys, because this might just change how you think about your day-to-day routine. Now, while we're here, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to the channel. If you're into exploring fun, sometimes surprising ways to boost your health and happiness, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And hey, don't forget the notification bell too. That way, you won't miss any of my future deep dives into topics that can seriously improve your daily life. It's going to be really interesting, I promise. First, let's explore the starting point. I've been moderately active most of my life, but I was never the type to meticulously track how many steps I took. Honestly, I thought I was walking enough just by doing my daily errands. I'm sure some of you can relate. When I was a kid, I often heard adults say, "You need to walk more, it's good for you." But I just took it as a vague piece of advice, never really diving into whether 4,000 steps, 6,000 steps, or 10,000 steps made a difference. Then, about 6 weeks ago, I decided to conduct a little experiment. Why 10,000 steps? Even if the exact number isn't backed by some ancient health text, a lot of modern fitness experts have used it as a goal, and I thought, why not? It's challenging enough to require effort, but not so extreme as to be impossible. So, I set out each day with one goal in mind: reach 10,000 steps on my pedometer, no excuses. Let me paint a picture of what happened next. The first week was actually tougher than I expected. I had to fight the urge to stay plopped on my couch, especially after a long day of work. I'd catch myself thinking, oh, I've had a stressful day, I deserve to just sit. But I pushed through. I soon realized that walking 10,000 steps, a number that once seemed daunting, was actually doable if I broke it down. For instance, I'd walk a little in the morning, maybe around the block, then during lunch I'd take a stroll for 15 to 20 minutes, and in the evening I'd go for a more extended walk. It turned out that each outing added up faster than I expected. By the end of week 1, I hit my goal most days, missing it only once when the weather turned nasty. And here's where the interesting stuff started. I noticed a subtle change in my mood. Typically, after a tough day, I'd feel drained and just want to scroll through my phone or watch TV. But with these walks, there was a shift. I felt calmer and mentally more upbeat. It's like the tension in my shoulders melted away by the time I got home. Now, moving on to the actual brain benefits, because that's what we're all curious about. At the end of week 2, I realized I was waking up with more energy. It's not that I leaped out of bed singing show tunes or anything, but the usual grogginess subsided faster. I started to wonder if I was sleeping better at night, perhaps because regular walking helps regulate your body's internal clock or reduces stress levels. When I got up to make breakfast, I noticed I felt more present and less hurried. And here's the kicker. I also found it easier to focus on my tasks throughout the day. By the way, if you have a job that requires a lot of mental heavy lifting, like analyzing spreadsheets, creating content, or even doing creative work, this improvement in focus can be a game changer. There's something about the rhythmic act of walking that not only helps your cardiovascular health, but seems to reset your mind as well. So, let's consider how. This might work on a scientific level. You've probably heard that any kind of aerobic exercise, including brisk walking, boosts blood flow to the brain. That increased blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients, which can lead to better cognitive performance. It's been studied that even short walks can release endorphins, improving your mood and reducing stress. But consistent daily walks, like hitting that 10,000 step mark, push these benefits further. Suddenly, you're building a habit that sends happy chemicals surging through your system on a regular basis, and that can significantly influence your mindset. You start to feel brighter and more emotionally balanced. It's similar to that phenomenon where runners experience a runner's high, except you don't have to be a marathon runner to get it. Walking can be enough if you stick with it. UY. Might be asking, did you also notice any changes in creativity or problem solving? Actually, yes. Around week 3, I discovered that I was getting flashes of inspiration during my walks. This was particularly exciting for me because I do a lot of content creation, and I often hit creative roadblocks. Sometimes I'd be strolling along, watching the clouds roll by, and suddenly a new idea for a project would just pop into my head. It seemed that my mind, freed from the usual distractions and stress, was able to wander in a more constructive way. Walking became this meditative break, like pressing the refresh button. If you've ever been stuck on a tough problem, you know how liberating it can feel to have a moment of clarity where everything starts to click. By the way, if you've never used walking as a brainstorming session, definitely check it out. It might become your secret weapon for sparking creativity. Speaking of secrets, here's where garlic comes in. I know it sounds a bit random. After all, what does garlic have to do with walking 10,000 steps a day? Well, when I was researching ways to maximize the health benefits of my walking habit, I stumbled upon some articles suggesting that garlic isn't just great for flavor. It can also help support cardiovascular health. And if your cardiovascular system is in tip-top shape, your brain benefits from the improved blood flow. Of course, you've probably heard that garlic is popular for lowering blood pressure or boosting the immune system. But I learned that some people believe it can even help with mental clarity and cognitive functions over time, thanks to its antioxidant properties. So I thought, why not incorporate more garlic into my diet and see if that amplifies the effects of my new walking routine? Now, I absolutely love garlic. I really like it when it's finely chopped and tossed into a stir-fry, or roasted until it's sweet and spreadable. Yum! But I never actually treated it like a daily health supplement. So I started adding it to my meals more regularly. When I made grilled vegetables, I'd toss in some minced garlic. If I had soup, I'd include a clove or two. And on occasion, I'd even whip up a quick garlic sauce for pasta. The result was interesting. After a few weeks of consistently eating garlic, I felt a slight boost in my overall energy. It's hard to say whether that was purely from the garlic or from the walking, or the combination of both, but I can say that my daily routine felt smoother. My heart rate during my walks was balanced, and I recovered quickly from any exertion. Plus, I got this comforting sense that my immune system was also benefiting. It's that intangible feeling of well-being that you notice when you're not getting worn down by the usual sniffles or minor illnesses as often. So, here's what I think happened with the walking plus garlic combo. Walking 10,000 steps a day gave me a consistent cardiovascular workout, improving blood flow and flooding my brain with those mood-boosting endorphins. Then, garlic likely provided an additional nudge by helping maintain healthy blood pressure levels and offering antioxidants. Our brains love a stable environment, so anything that supports stable blood flow is going to give your noggin the nourishment it craves. Together, this partnership of daily movement and a nutrient-rich diet created a synergy that boosted not just my physical stamina, but my mental resilience as well. It's like I could tackle challenges more calmly, and I had enough energy left in the tank for creative pursuits. By the way, if you're enjoying this conversation about walking, brain health, and a dash of garlic lore, I'd love for you to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps this channel grow, and it ensures that more folks get to learn about interesting science-based tweaks to everyday life. Sharing is caring, and you never know who might benefit from these little tips. So, hit that like button and keep watching, because there's more to cover as we wrap things up. Now, I want to summarize how walking 10,000 steps a day impacted my brain with a special nod to the garlic factor. First off, I discovered that consistent walking isn't just about burning calories or keeping fit. It has a profound effect on mental clarity. After a few weeks, I noticed more energy when I woke up, better mood regulation, and sharper focus at work. Creative sparks came more frequently, and I found I could handle stress more gracefully. I also noticed improvements in my sleep pattern, which only further fueled my productivity and positivity the next day. On top of that, garlic turned out to be a nifty partner. By supporting my cardiovascular health, it helped ensure that all that walking had an even better chance of feeding my brain the oxygen and nutrients it needs. It's like giving your daily walk a power boost. Here's the thing I want you to take away. You don't have to become a marathon runner or an extreme athlete to enjoy a healthier brain. Sometimes, seemingly small lifestyle changes, like making sure you get enough steps in and adding a flavorful, health-friendly ingredient to your meals, can create noticeable shifts in your overall well-being. We often chase flashy, complicated routines, but I've found that a back-to-basics approach, like walking and eating real food, can yield some of the most amazing benefits. I'm not saying you'll solve all of life's problems by hitting 10,000 steps daily, but you might be surprised at how much better you feel both mentally and physically. When I first heard the number 10,000, I assumed it would be too time-consuming or too difficult to maintain, but now it's become a natural part of my routine. And trust me, if you stick with it, the stress relief, mental clarity, and overall sense of well-being might just catch you off guard in the best possible way. So, if you're on the fence about whether 10,000 steps is worth the effort, I encourage you to give it a try. Even if you don't hit that number every single day, setting a clear target can be really motivating. Walk for 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, take the long route to the grocery store or your office. Get creative. And if you're up for it, maybe experiment with more garlic in your diet. You can go for fresh cloves if you love the robust flavor like I do, or pick up a garlic-infused olive oil if you prefer something milder. The combination of gentle exercise and nutrient-dense foods could be the simplest, most overlooked secret to upgrading your brain health. As we wrap up, let me send you off with a little final thought. If 10,000 steps a day can help sharpen our minds and brighten our moods, imagine what other small habits we might be missing out on. Life is filled with easy, everyday choices that can make a huge impact over time, whether it's adding a spice to your diet or making a point to get outside and move. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you going to try this 10,000-step experiment? Have you had any experiences with garlic that you swear by? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other topics you'd like me to explore, definitely drop that suggestion as well. Your feedback not only helps me understand what you're interested in, but also builds this awesome little community we have here. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you found value in these observations, consider sharing this video with a friend who might also benefit. After all, a happier, healthier brain is something we could all use. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Go ahead and click that button so you'll be the first to know about new videos that dive into health, mindset, and other fascinating corners of human well-being. Until next time, keep moving, keep experimenting with small, simple changes, and keep your mind open to the possibility that the next big transformation might just be one step or one clove of garlic away. I can't wait to hear what you experience with your own 10,000 step challenge. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.